Hi everyone, so we're going to go through the process of cellular respiration and we're going to use your storyboard in order to go through this again. This is going to be real quick, just another overview so you can hear how it sounds when it's stated in a paragraph. So let's get started. We're going to start with the formula for cellular respiration. Remember, the reactants are the part of the equation that happened at the beginning. So you'll see the 6 oxygen and the 6 C6H12O6, which is glucose. So oxygen and glucose are our reactants. And what they produce are our products, which are carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. So this process takes place in the mitochondria, and it's where glucose is broken down to make ATP. Remember, ATP is the chemical energy in our cells, and that's what we use to power all of our muscle contractions and anything that happens in our body. So it starts with glucose, but we don't just get glucose. It's not naturally produced in our body. We have to get it from somewhere. And in order to do that, we take the glucose that's found at the end of photosynthesis and created in plants, and we eat it. And whether or not we eat lots of vegetables or whether or not we eat meat, those plants are consumed by some sort of organism, and that's where the glucose comes from. So once we have that glucose in our body, the first step of cellular respiration can take place, and that process is called glycolysis. Now, glycolysis is an anaerobic process, meaning that it doesn't require any energy or any oxygen at all, and it takes place in the cytoplasm of our cells. So it's actually not in the mitochondria. And it produces 3 ATP molecules, so it does make a little bit of energy, but because it's anaerobic, it's just a small amount of energy, and if we really want to start pumping out lots and lots of ATP, we have to have oxygen present. The other thing that it produces is something called pyruvic acid. And pyruvic acid is just the molecule of glucose being split into 2 molecules that have 3 little chains around them. And that pyruvic acid is converted before it enters into the Krebs cycle to a molecule called acetyl-CoA. Now, once the acetyl-CoA is created, it combines with oxygen and water, and it produces, through multiple reactions, 2 things: electron carriers, which are NADH and FADH2, and CO2. But we don't need CO2 in our body, so we get rid of the CO2 as waste. This process takes place in the mitochondria, and this is where we also can produce some more ATP. But if we really want the biggest bang for our buck, we move our NADH and our FADH2, those electron carriers, to the electron transport chain and combine it with more oxygen. And those little electron carriers go down this chain and it kind of rolls in a circle, combine with oxygen and create 32 to 36 ATP and water. So we start cellular respiration with glucose, and we end our products of cellular respiration are 32 to 36 ATP that's used by our cells in the body to perform different functions, CO2, which is released into the atmosphere through us exhaling, us sweating, or through urination, and water, which is either used in our body in different processes or it's eliminated as waste, again, through urination or sweat. So this is a real quick overview of cellular respiration, just the basics, and I hope you enjoyed.